Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. Today I'm talking to intuitives. We're going to be looking at the Seven of Pentacles today. Now, as intuitives, we tend to overthink things because we get so much information from our intuition. And for the majority of the population, people generally don't go by what they feel. They usually try to do the right thing in the situation, as opposed to what am I being shown to do? Sometimes as intuitives, we get stuck. We receive information. We receive perspectives from a place that is not practical. And pentacles are all about practicality, real world stuff, flesh and bone, money, evidence, proof. It's not just something like, wow, I feel this way. And intuition is all about, I feel I should do this. I feel I should do that. And that's probably what got you to this point. Because every single person listening to this has a Seven of Pentacles. Every single person here has something in their life that is this full... the Seven of Pentacles, you're 7 steps of the way to the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles is like everything you could want in this life, right? It's like the full package. It's the American dream, if you will. 7 out of 10 of the way there. Whether this is you have a beautiful family, a great career, you work on your body and your health, you meditate every day, you practice yoga, you have these skills, like maybe you're somebody who puts yourself online. I know a lot of people now, shout out to Dent makers. If you want to be a part of a great community of people that are putting themselves out there in the world to make a dent in any way that they so choose, join us over on Dent Makers. That link is always down in the description. But I know a lot of people from Dent Makers here who, we're doing this. We're putting ourselves out in the world. But this is what happens when we get to the Seven of Pentacles. It's like he's looking at his work and he's pausing. The way his face looks. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering because this is the energy. This is what you feel. It's like you say you have a YouTube channel, right? Because I know a couple people do on here. Say you look at all your work that you've done and you're like, it's good, but it could use a spice over here. It could use a little razzle dazzle. Maybe I could do this better. Maybe I could become a better communicator, a better editor. Maybe I should hire an editor. That's the Seven of Pentacles. It's thinking through what you already have as something is already progressed. This is like 3/4 of the way done. This is like you're already really good at something, or you have something that is worth something, right? But you're looking over it. This is kind of like a Virgo energy, to be honest with you, where it's like you're scrutinizing, discerning what you can do. Is there something that we want to change? That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking, should I continue in the way that I'm growing this crop now? Or should I change something here? Now, I want to say this, and then I'm going to get to my practical real world example of how I did the Seven of Pentacles just yesterday. And I have a song that I want to play for you guys at the end. It's called Time So Weird. Look, little mini guitar. Isn't it cute? There's a marketing term called Rule of 7 that I learned from my first business mentor, Sandy Krakowski. Actually, I learned it from a couple people, but regardless. It's called the Rule of 7, and we have the Seven of Pentacles here. Now, what that is, in short, is that people need to see your product or whatever you're presenting at least 7 times before they'll even consider purchasing something from you. Right? And this doesn't have to be in marketing, like you're trying to sell something. This could be regarding yourself. This could be like, I need to go to the gym 7 times before I even start to feel like I'm getting somewhere. I need to, I heard this years ago from one of my other mentors who is a Christian minister. And he taught me to, because back then we were talking about doing a podcast, and he said, put out at least 7 episodes. If you can get 7 episodes out, then you're rocking and rolling. I think there's something else too. There's like a phrase, if you know somebody for 7 years, they become family. It's something like that. The rule of 7, right? So 7, you have progressed to a level now, who I'm speaking to today, on something in your life, even if it's your own character, where you can open it up and look at what you've got. So that's what we're going to do today. Now think in your mind of something you want to do that with. Is it a hobby? Is it a project? Is it your health? A craft? A business? Whatever this is, even your relationship, honestly, you could look over it. Think of what that thing is right now. And then I'm going to give you an example of something that I just did yesterday. Now, as I said, I wrote this new song for you guys called Time So Weird. Let me show you. Can you see that? And this is the last page of this entire songbook. When I wrote this song and recorded it for you guys yesterday, I couldn't believe that this book was finished. Look, if you can see this, it says February 22nd, 2021. I started looking through my songs, and these songs at the beginning are songs that I wrote when I was a Christian minister. Blood on the Altar, Growing Pains. I put out an album called Growing Pains. You can see my old Christian stuff. These are all Christian related songs. Amusement Park was from my album, Ferris Wheel, What If. I started looking through all the songs and going down memory lane, which is the 7 of Pentacles. You could look at it as this songbook here is this bush or whatever this thing is here. I never know what to call it. It looks kind of like a rose bush or something, which I love. He's looking over his rose bush, right? Everything that he's grown. This book. This is 3 years worth of songs. And when I finished writing this song yesterday and started looking through these songs, I started looking them up on YouTube one by one and just thinking over 7 of Pentacles, everything I've been through. My album Growing Pains, I have an EP called Fragments, the one I mentioned, Ferris Wheel. If you type in those names with Missy Gordon, those will all come up. And I just started playing them. And I was feeling so emotional looking over all of this work that I had done for the past 3 years. And this is that moment in time with the 7 of Pentacles where you decide. Now, this is kind of a crazy example because I'll never stop playing music. It doesn't matter. You know, I'll just always be a musician for the rest of my life. But I'm just going to say it as an example. This is that fork in the road where you're like, am I going to continue doing what I'm doing here? And of course, the answer for me is yes. But part of the 7 of Pentacles was me looking at this. I'm like, how can I make this stuff better? You know, how can I make my sound better? Like, very practical example. I was just thinking the other day, because my guitar, you can plug it in. And I just don't have the stuff that I used to have back when I've done other albums where I was able to plug in my acoustic guitar so that I can, like, go directly into my computer as opposed to playing into this. Anyways, being a Virgo right now, I'm saying, how can I make this better? How can I make this music better? It's not, the 7 of Pentacles is not about throwing anything away. It's just about taking a look at what we have. Metaphorically speaking, let's just look over right now, whatever your 7 of Pentacles is. Let's just take a minute together and just look over what we've got here. Think about something that you want to look at, something you feel, maybe even if you don't feel stuck, it's just about taking a minute to look over what you already have. Like I was saying with this songbook, thinking about, wow, 3 years, so many topics I covered and things that I wrote about in my life at that time. I was such a different person then. Life is crazy. Seven of Pentacles is that moment of life is crazy. And that's what my song Time So Weird is about. It's the lyrics are, why is time so weird these days? Because it's like looking over. I was just, it was a moment of shock. I couldn't believe it's been 3 freaking years, 3 years and 4 months to be exact, of music in this book. And I was just thinking so much has changed over the past 3 years, right? So let's just take a second and think about your thing, whatever your songbook is. Let's just see what we got here. Just allow yourself to settle into that. Think about, where can we go from here? You know, what next actions can we take? Like for me, it's, you know, it's more practical. It's like, okay, I need to look into getting some better sound equipment or using what I already have. I have a whole bag over here of all these like cords, and I have this like little recorder. I have a bunch of stuff that from my past that, to be honest with you, I don't really know how to use it. This is a very practical example. It's like watching YouTube videos. How do I connect to this? How do I use this? How do I do all this, right? So I can make my music sound better. That's a Seven of Pentacles moment. It's not saying that everything that we've done up until now has been garbage. It's saying, no, look at all we have here. It's actually a moment. Even though his face, it looks, I don't know if he's just concentrating or if he's disappointed or what have you. But sometimes we can get in that weird state of mind. Why is time so weird these days? Like I wrote in my song. Because it is this moment of like, wait, time is crazy, dude. 3 years of songs, you know, looking back on pictures maybe, like even if you don't have like a specific thing, look back in your phone 3 years, look back on your Facebook 3 years. What were you doing 3 years ago? What did you look like 3 years ago? You know, what were you doing 3 years ago? Did you live in the same location? Have you moved? You know, have you changed up anything in your life? Look over that. And we're going to do a little bit more of that when I do the full moon in Capricorn reading coming up on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that, guys. Let's just take another minute here. What can we do to improve the beauty of what we already have here? Just think about it for one more minute here. What can we do to make things better, more to our liking? Maybe we're just feeling a little bit bored. Maybe we need to be challenged more. Maybe you're already really good at something, but maybe it's not that you need to change it, but maybe you just need more of a challenge. Maybe you need, you know, if this is a person, for example, maybe you need somebody that has a different personality that challenges you more. If this is, you know, a hobby, or let's say this, maybe you're doing kickboxing classes at the gym and you're like, this is kind of like boring now. I'm good at this. So maybe you need to try some sort of HIIT class or do some sort of like Ironman, train for Ironman. I don't know. You know, it's not always that we have to throw everything away. And sometimes with the Seven of Pentacles, we have that moment of like, should I just throw this whole damn thing away? It's kind of like when you paint something. My first true art teacher, beautiful painter, and I miss her. She taught me how to paint. She taught me about perspective. She taught me about the horizon line. And she also taught me to always sign everything that I painted in the bottom corner. Sign your name always, she would say. And she also taught me to, once you paint something, leave it for a night. You know? Once you do something, leave it, walk away. Because artists, writers, whoever you are, you can be anybody, right? Whenever we create something, you could be a cook. You create a dish and you think, it's not so good. Sometimes leftovers taste even better, especially with pasta, right? Is it just me, or does pasta taste better, the leftovers, because it's been sitting for the night? Anyways, I'm Italian, so I don't know what to tell you guys. I always go to food. I'm a Taurus moon. Sometimes it's best to do something, leave it, and then come back and look at it. So you don't try to crumple it up and throw it in the trash and say, this is crap, this is garbage, I'm not good at this. Or if you're doing something, you're gonna get good at it eventually because you care about it, right? It's not about like being the best on day one. It's about on the 7th time, like I talked about with the rule of 7. Oh, my videos aren't that good. Make 7 and then come back and take a peek. Paint 7 paintings of the same freaking scenery. As mundane as that is, 7 of Pentacles can be a little mundane, right? It's that earth energy. It's that, let's do it again. It's not good enough. Let's do it again. Let's try it again. Let's do a different way this time. Like when I'm editing any sort of graphic design stuff, I'll go back and I'll change one little detail. I'm like, yeah, that's crap. I'll leave it. I'll come back the next day and I'll be like, oh no, actually I liked that. And I'll take it out of the trash. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes with the 7 of Pentacles, the trick is to look, and that's what he's doing. Look over what you have with loving eyes. And if you have an issue like I do, with being too hypercritical of yourself, leave it. Leave it for a night. Leave it for a week. Come back to it. You'll be shocked at what you think when you've given it a little bit of air, a little bit of breathing room. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to play you my song, Time So Weird. See you on the next one. Oh, and remember, you can always listen to this episode, as well as all of the Astro episodes now will be up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you want to listen to me in the car or at the gym or whatever. I'm always here. I'm just kidding. Well, am I? We're all together, right? I love you guys. Here's my song, Time So Weird. Tallahassee skyline, how did I get here? 20,000 questions in my mind. Out here, 20,000 begs the question I have here. Okay, if all this stuff is mine, then why is time so, why is time so weird these days? Did I drop something back along the way? And why is time so weird these days? Did I drop something back along the way? Now I know that I'm out of my mind. Out here, was this all just a big waste of time? Back here, maybe I'll just gather up what's mine right here. Okay, if all this stuff is mine, then why is time so, why is time so weird these days? Did I drop something back along the way? And why is time so weird these days? Did I drop something back along the way? I'm hoping, I'm wishing, I'm praying for bigger, better, brighter days. I'm hoping, I'm wishing, I'm praying. I'm hoping, I'm wishing, I'm praying for bigger, better, brighter days. I'm hoping, I'm wishing, I'm praying on every day and so weird these days. Did I drop some